Hmm. So I was introduced to your music by a mutual brother that we have, right? In Cuban Link. Shout out to Cuban, man.
Shout
Coming
out
up, were
Cuban.
you really inspired by Terror Squad?
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Pun, recipes, pun. That's like the legend. You know what I mean? Even Fat Joe. Shout out Fat Joe. The whole Terror Squad, bro. Like it's crazy because I came up. Bro, I remember Flojo, man. That shit, like for me as a Spanish kid, as a Latino, bro, like that was everything. The beat nuts, that was everything, bro. You understand? Like for me, that was everything, man. I was like, oh shit, like we got some real niggas putting on. You know what I mean? And they sound great, and they competing with the best.
Yeah, because you
So
got to remember at that time, there's no internet, there's no YouTube, no, and so you being a minority, you're turning on the TV, you're not seeing as much people that look like you, right? You're not having that representation like that. So,
mhm.
it's a different feeling when you turn on that TV and you see somebody that looks like you that is doing something that is different from what has been stereotyped, right? Like, oh, this is because that does a lot, bro. That tells you what you could possibly do with your life, especially when you coming from impoverished areas like the hood. And what, there's like this stereotype of, oh, you either gonna end up doing this or you're gonna do this, right? But when you see somebody that looks like you rapping or and making money that way, man, it does wonders for you.
Yeah, 1,000% of that, and that's what it did. You know what I mean? Like, it was like I felt identified. You know what I mean? And then plus you had to when they added the little Spanish samples, Latin samples, and you hear it now. We start hearing it in the production. I was like, man, amazing, bro! Like that shit was dope, man. You know what I mean? Cypress Hill, shout out Cypress Hill, Funk Dubious, like. Bro, it goes on and on. You know what I mean? The list is long. Like I don't want to leave nobody out. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, Terror Squad plays a huge part in what the Latino culture is today, even in music. You know what I mean? Because that was pretty much who we had to look up to. That was really killing it. You know what I mean? Like they was getting, Pun was getting platinum plaques, bro. Like the first LGP, last going platinum. That was dumb. You know what I'm saying? So that set the one that made it possible. Like, all right, I know this could happen now. We could do it. We could be next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, and I think it's a shame they never got to reach like the full potential of what they could have been, right? Because of the unfortunate demise of Pun. And I know that later on you ended up kind of running with that same idea of the Latins going platinum, right? You guys had like a website and you were advertising all the Latinos.
To this day, I hashtag that because it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we going platinum. Like thank God I got a gold record. You know what I'm saying? Not for myself, for one of my artists. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, a record called Cochinaz went gold. That's heavy for me. You feel me? Like platinum's coming. Like it's not like I used to be back in the days. Cause now they mix the streams with this and that and the third. Back then it was sales. You know what I mean?
Man, back then
But
was a different feeling because like you had to actually go to the store, stand in line, pick it up, right? You unwrapping
uh,
it, you looking at it, you looking at the credits, you know what I'm saying? It's just
it
it's
was an
different
experience. It
when
was
you
a whole
have it in
experience.
your hand, right? And it's like when you talk about it with your man, you just like, yo, after I get out of school or something like I'm heading over to the store, I'm gonna go get it. It's
Facts.
like something to look forward to as opposed to like now everything is so immediate gratification that there's
Yeah,
no excitement to it really, right? It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna click that button and then I got it, that's it. you know
that's
what
it.
I mean?
Back then, nah, you're right, 100%. It was an experience before. You
Right.
know what I mean? I remember going to Tower Records, boom, buying what I gotta get. And mind you, I was a DJ too, so I used to dig in the crates and buy records
Right,
too.
so it's
But
just like even like sniffing the vinyl, right? Like you get the
sniffing the
whole
vinyl,
the whole
Paul,
vibe, bro.
no Diddy, no
Yeah.
Diddy. I don't know about sniffing the vinyl, but you know what I mean? Like just being in the vinyl setting or whatever. Like,
Right.
but like even opening up the credits, like every album, like let's say CDs, you would open it up. I would put the CD in the car, put that shit all the way up. And I'll start, you know, because it was like a little booklet that came with it. You know what I'm saying? Told you who produced the records. Then it would have like shout outs, thank yous. Sometimes it would have the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So I would sit there and vibe while I'm listening, like, whatever amount of tracks it had. If the shit was a dope album, I could sit there 1 through whatever. Let's say 1 through 20 without fucking pressing fast forward, just looking at that fucking booklet back and forth. You know what I mean? And it was dope because in the shout outs and shit, you would see like certain little, you know what I mean? Like they might shout somebody out you never thought they would. You know what I mean? It was just a different experience, man. Like you
Yeah,
said.
you definitely were looking for no skips, right? And then at that time, because there was no Instagram, no internet, the amount of pictures that you had available to you, if it wasn't in a magazine, was very limited. So even in the booklet, you saw like different pictures of the artists, you know, within the same shoot for the
Right.
photo album and every, you know, for the album cover and everything. So yeah, man, it's
Right.
definitely different.